Hello, everybody. I'm Melusine, and this is Celtic Noir. And this week, I'm going to read you a little bit from Act 2 of Hollowbone. It's a magical bit, and it's set in one of my favorite places in the world, which is Broceliande, which is Merlin's magical forest, which I have been to, and probably some of you have too. It's in Brittany, in northwest France. And it really is a seriously magical place. Jan has arrived there. She's been through quite a few adventures by now, but she's getting the hang that things are not going to go all her way all the time. So here we go with this is Jan's adventure in Broceliande. Jan stood at the threshold, eyes circling the clearing. The path she'd followed since sunup had opened out through an arching circle of tree branches into a glade. At the far side, a stream tumbled down the cliff face over a pile of boulders that backed the pool. And the stream was fast and full of water, and the water fell down fiercely into a seething, boiling cauldron pool, throwing up white spray that hung over the glade like a veil. At the near edge of the pool stood a tall, white crystal stone, and atop the stone sat a small silver bowl. Shit! She rolled her eyes. Really? Had she got to do the old troubadour story of pouring water over the stone and fighting the Black Knight? She shook her head. Kellis pushed against her ankles, urging her into the clearing. No, she held firm. Really? Am I living in an Arthurian movie? He smacked her leg. She blinked, swallowed, sighed. He was determined. Okay, nothing for it. She'd go in and play out the scene. She trod across the springy turf to the pool. As she bent to reach for the bowl, she saw a young girl sat beside the rock, below the water. At first glance, she appeared very young. The second glance showed her face as wrinkled and old. Blink, young. Blink, old. Blink. And now the girl was sat on top of the stone, her feet dangling in the water, except they weren't proper feet, but webbed like a frog's. Her hands were webbed too. Her skin looked young, tight, vibrant, her cheeks shining like apples and her hair glowing silver. But there were crow's feet around her eyes and mouth. She was old and young at the same time, and there she sat, on top of the tall crystal, her hands folded maidenly in her lap. She must be the Melusine. Jan had to speak first. That was the way of it, the tradition of the story, how it had to be. And anyway, there was no way she could pour water over the Melusine's head, just like that. If she tried it, an instant later those webbed hands would be at her throat. Melusine. What was it Jack had called them when he had told her the stories from his homeland? She frowned, racking her brain. The Melusine smiled up at her. You're thinking of my sisters, the Lamia. The voice sparked through her mind. That's what Jack had called them. In the old Basque ways, Lamia were spirits of the streams of water. Were they the same as the Melusines? From what this one said, it seemed they were. Tricksy, like she thought last night. Dangerous, too, and riddlers. The girl looked up at her now, smiling, showing sharp, pointy teeth. Yes, we are, said the voice in her head. We call ourselves Melusine here. And we are dangerous, riddlers, and tricksy. Tricksters are always the best teachers, don't you know that? Damn. Yes, of course she did. Did she really have to meet one now? I know I have to learn things, but I wouldn't have minded another day's respite here in the forest. Not another wretched lesson. Ah, I seem to be going up and down like a seesaw. One minute I'm keen and okay, and the next I just want to crawl into a pile of leaves and sleep out the winter. What did the old one tell you? This time it was Keller's voice. Damn again. I have to go through with this. What does this creature want of me? As though she'd heard, which she probably had, the Melusine spoke in her mind again. I am guardian to this place, to this stone, this waterfall. You must negotiate with me, and yes, maybe even trick me into letting you do what you need to do, if you can. Melusine's eyes slitted now, her mouth cracked into a grin. Like Kelpies, Jan thought, pulling herself together. If I can work with them, then I can work with this one. Yeah, you think. The Melusine reached up a hand to stroke Jan's. Her touch was cold, so cold it burned like ice. What is it that you want, human child? Jan swallowed, pulled in a breath. Do I have to pour water over the stone and take the adventure that comes? Ah, the long out breath ended in a chuckle. So you are the one. She grabbed Jan's hand now. It felt like a ring of cold fire round her wrist, and pulled her down so close her ice diamond eyes could peer into the woman's face. Yes, you are indeed the one. Well and well. If so must you pour the water, then first you must bargain with me. Tell me about it, Jan managed in a whisper. The Melusine nodded and nodded. The pointy teeth grinned. Her snaky tongue whipped out to lick the purple lips. Hmm, so you are a knowing one. Melusine let go of her wrist now, but the blue ice eyes still held her. Jan began to boil now. Anger roiled. What the fuck did this creature want? Jan coughed gently. Do you think we could just get on with it? I have a job to do. Can't spend all day here playing with you. The Melusine burst out laughing. So she has humor. But is she sly enough? Well then, human, let us bargain. I think, as exchange for my help, I will eat your little cat for my lunch. Yes? Just you fucking try it. Jan's knife was in her hand, pointed at the creature's throat as she put her body between Kellis and the Melusine. The Melusine laughed delightedly. Good, good. You will fight for what you love. She paused again. So what have you got to offer me? How about that lovely amulet you wear? Not a chance. Try again. And she threatened with the knife. Better and better. The Melusine reached a long clawed finger to stroke her wrist. And you can cut that out too, Jan snarled. It was a standoff. Ice blue eyes glared into sapphire ones. Make me an offer, then. The Melusine sat up straight now, eyes fiercely narrowed. Jan thought, how would it be, she paused for effect, if I gave you 3 drops of my blood in exchange? What would you do with them? I'd eat them. And what would that do to the world and to me? Nothing, nothing bad, but it would assuage my hunger. Are you sure nothing bad for the world? I am sure. Melusine nodded, studying Jan. And, she paused now, it would forge a link between us. I would help you when you need it, if you ask me. Help, not harm. Help, I never harm those I've eaten from. Swear that. I swear that. On the water, on the mother, on the earth. Something clicked inside Jan. This was truth. She took her knife and pricked her thumb. The lamia turned up her face and opened her mouth, and Jan dripped 3 drops of blood into the open jaws. They snapped shut. The tongue came out and licked the lips. Thank you. Melusine caressed Jan's hand again with a claw. Now we are sisters under the water. She smiled. Come then, pour the water. Then maybe you will hear the bell. Mayhap the woodmouse will come. When he does, he will teach you how to kill or how to trick. Now, the Melusine hissed, now pour the water. Without you do that, you're useless, and I will eat you. Jan filled the bowl and tipped it over the stone and the Melusine. Nothing. No bell. No nothing. The waterfall continued to roar, but no guardian appeared. What's going on? Jan peered round the clearing, but there was nothing. And the Melusine was gone too. She was alone with the cat. She stood, shaking her head, sighed. Then as she passed out of the clearing, she heard a deep, gruff voice in her head. Later, child, up in the mountains you will find me. You have enough for now. So there you go. You know a little bit more about Jan's adventure, and she's going to meet all sorts of strange people and all sorts of strange adventures. But right now, that's it for this week. Don't know what I'm going to tell you next week. Probably won't be any more of Jan. I think we'll do another story then. So have a good week, and I will see you on the other side.